Welcome to Lesson 3, Part 2. In this lesson we will be learning to multiply polynomials rather than just binomials as we did in the last video. In the last video we learned how to multiply x plus 1 times x plus 2, or two binomials. We also learned how to simplify this expression, and remember, we cannot simply square each term inside the parentheses. It's a quantity that we're squaring, not just x and 3. We're squaring the whole quantity, so remember that means we need to expand this problem before we can simplify it correctly. Okay, so in this video we are going to learn how to multiply examples that look something like this. Here we have a binomial times a trinomial. So as you might imagine, there's a few more things to do, a few more steps, but it is still pretty much the same. So before we begin, why don't you pause the video? See if you can't simplify this on your own without my help first, because like I said, it is pretty similar. So pause the video, give it a try on your own, and then when you're ready, restart it and you can watch my solution. Okay, so here we have our first step, which is to multiply the x through the entire second trinomial. So we're going to start by multiplying the x times the x squared, the x times the x, and the x times the 2. Then we will distribute the 1 through the entire trinomial, so that is, we'll multiply 1 times x squared, 1 times x, and 1 times 2. So let's get started with doing that. X times x squared is x cubed. Please be careful. Remember your exponent rules when you're distributing and multiplying. X times x is x squared, and x times 2 is 2x. Then we move to the 1 and we multiply 1 times x squared, which is 1x squared, 1 times x, which is 1x, and 1 times 2, which is 2. Again, just like in the last video, we have to make sure there's nothing else to combine before we move on. We want our answer in simplest form, and right now it is not. So check for like terms that we can combine. Did you find any? You should have noticed that there are 2x squared terms and 2x terms. These can be combined. So our x squared plus 1x squared gives us a 2x squared, and our 2x plus 1x gives us a 3x. The x cubed and the 2 remain the same, giving us a polynomial as our answer, x cubed plus 2x squared plus 3x plus 2. Now pause the video and try the second example on your own. You should have gotten x cubed plus 7x squared plus 14x plus 20 as your final answer. And you can see in the middle there, those are the terms I got from expanding originally before I combined the 2x squared and the 5x squared to get 7x squared, and the 4x and the 10x to get 14x. Okay, let's give this one a try. Now we have a trinomial times a trinomial. What do you think you will need to do here? As you might imagine, it's very similar to all of the other examples that we've done, with just another additional term in your answer. So pause the video, and I really want you to try this one on your own because I think you can do it. I know you can do this one on your own from the last two examples. It's so similar, but just a little bit different. So pause the video, give it a try, and then restart it and find the solution. Okay, the first step you need to take is to distribute the 2x squared through to all three terms in the second trinomial. You're not going to distribute it to anything else inside its own trinomial because that is already a trinomial. Nothing else can be combined. Nothing is being multiplied. You're multiplying it times the second trinomial. Then we're going to distribute the x through to each term in the second trinomial, just as we did the 2x squared. And lastly, you should distribute the 5 through to each term in the second trinomial. When you do that, you should have a very, very long string of terms like I do here. 2x to the 4th plus 4x cubed plus 8x squared plus x to the 3rd plus 2x squared plus 4x plus 5x squared plus 10x plus 20. And now we need to look for like terms like we did before, so we're going to notice that we have 2x cubed terms, 3x squared terms, and we have 2x terms. So again, you need to combine the like terms and simplify your answer. So we have a 5x cubed now, then we have a 15x squared, a 14x, and the 20. Okay, so now that we finished the second video, there are a few more problems that I would like for you to use for practice before beginning the rest of the activities in this lesson. So here are the numbers, and make sure you bring this with you to class this week. Thank you for listening.